โยโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธสวากขาโตเยนะภะคะวะตาธัมโมสุปฏิปันโนยัสสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆธัมมายังภะคะวันตังสะธัมมังสะสังฆังอิเมหิสการะหิยะถาระหังอาโรปิเตหิอภิปุชยามะสาธุโนภันเตภะคะวาสุจิราภรินิพุโตปิปัจฉิมาชนะตานุกัมปมานะสันอิเมสการะทุกขตาปนาการะโพเตปฏิคันหาตุอัมหากังติขรตังหิตายาสุขายาอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธภะคะวันพุทธังภะคะวันตังอภิวาเทมิสวากขาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมธัมมังนัมสสามิสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสังฆังนามามิหันธมายังบุตตสสะปุปภาคณมการันเจวะพุทธานุสตินยัญจกโรมัสเหนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะตังโคปนะภะคะวันตังเอวังกัลยาโนกิตติสัทโธหะภุกโตเอติปิโสภะคะวะอะระหังสัมมาสัมพุทโธเวจาจรณะสัมปันโนสุขโตโลกวิทูอนุตตโรปุริสตัมมสารติสัทธาเทวมโนสานังวุนโธภะคะวันติหันธมายังพุทธาภิทุติงกโรมะเสเหนวุนทวารหันตวรตาติคุณาภิยุตสุทธาภิญาณกรุณาหิสมาคตตนโอเทสิโยสุสุนตังกัมพลัมวสุโรวันธามหังตมรนังศิรสาชิเนนทังวันโตโยสาปปานินังสรนังเขมวัตมังปัทมานุสติทานังวันทาปิตังสิเรนะหังบุญทาสาหัสมิทาโสวะบุญโตเมสามิเกสรวนบุญโตดุขาสขาตาจาวิตาตาเจหิตาสมินบุญตาสาหังนิยเตมิสาริรันชีวิตังเจทังวันทันโตหังเจริสามีบุตตาเสวะสุโพธิตังนาชิเมสรนังอัญญังบุญโตเมสรนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวันเจนะวัฏยังสันตุสาสเนวุธังเมวันธรรมานีนายังปุญญังปัสสตังอิทัส สัพเพปิหันตรายามิมเหสังตัสสะเตจะสามกายเยนะวาจายวะเจตสาวาพุทเตกุกัมมังปะกะตังมะยายังพุทโธปฏิกันหันตุอัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมมริตุวะพุทเทหันธมายังธรรมานุสตินายังกโรมะเสเหสวาคาโตภะคะวะตาธัมโมสันเทเทโกหะกาลิโกเอหิปัสสิโกโอปนัญญิโกปัจจตัมเวทิตาโพวิญโยเหเตหันธมายังธรรมาภิเขติงกโรมะเสเหสวาคาตตาทิคุณโยขวเสนะสยโยโยมาคาปะกะปริยาติวิโมคาเพทวันธัมโมโกโลกัปปัตนาตถาธาริธาเรียนวันธามหังตมหรังวรธรรมเมตังธัมโมโยสัพพปานินังสรณังเขมวุตตมังทุติยานุสติทานังวันธามิตังสิเรนะหังธัมมาสาหัสมิทาโสวะธัมโมเมสามิเกสรวนธัมโมดุขาสขาตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสมินธัมมาสาหังนิยาเตมิสริรันชีวิตังเจตังวันทันโตหังจเรสามิธัมมาเสวะสุธัมมตังนาทิเมสรนังอัญญังธัมโมเมสรนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวันเจนะวันทะยังสัตุสาสเนธัมมังเมวันธรรมเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสุตังอิทังสัพเพปิอันตรายาเมมเหสังตัสสะเตจะสามกายเยนะวาจายวะเจตสาวาธัมเมกุกัมมังปะกะตังมะยายังธัมโมปฏิกันหันตวัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมมริตุวะธัมเมหันธมายังสังฆานุสตินายังกโรมะเสเหสุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆโอชุปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆญาญาปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆสามีจิปฏิปันโนภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆยาดิทังจัตตาริปุริสโยคานิหาตาปุริสปุคละเอสะภะคะวะโตสาวกสังโฆอาหุนัยโยปาหุนัยโยตาคินัยโยหันชะเลการณิโยอนุตรังพุญญังเกตังโลกัสสติหันธมายังสังฆาภิกขิติงกโรมะเสเหสัทธัมมะโชสุปฏิปันติคุณาติโยตุนโยธาภิโตหริยปุคละสังกเสโทนเสลาธิธรรมปวาราสยกายจิตโตนวันธามหังตมริยานาคนังสุสุทัง สังโฆโยสัพพปานินังสารนังเขมะพุทธมังปาติยานุสติทานังวันทามิตังสิเรนะหังสังฆาสาหัสมิตาโสวะสังโฆเมสามิเกสโรสังโฆดุกาสขันตาจะวิทาตาจะหิตาสเมสังฆาสาหังนิยานเตมิสริรันเจวิตังเจตังวันทันโตหังเจเรสามิสังฆาโสปฏิปันนตังนาทิเมสรนังอัญญังสังโฆเมสรนังวรังเอเตนะสัจวันเจนะวัฏยังสัตตุสาสเนสังฆังเมวันธมาเนนะยังปุญญังปัสสตังอิทันสัพเพปิหันตรายาเมมะเหสุสัพพิสัมกายเยนะวาจายวะเจตสาวันสังเกกุกัมมังปะกะตังมยายังสังฆปฏิคันหันตวัจจยันตังกาลันตะเรสัมมริโตวสังเกหันธรรมายังสารพันเนนะบุตตมังคลกาทายโยภานามาเสสัมพุนโตเทปาทังเสโตเนเสนโนเจวาภาเจเมปุณัญโยบุพาภาเกจันอังเกนาเยจากันสาบุญสาริพุนโตจันตาเคเนหารติเยวะภาลิจังปัญเจเมปิจังหานันโทหายาเปจังกาวัมปติโมคัลลานุจะหุตาเรเอสาเนเปจาราหุโลเยเมโคมังกาลาบุตังสัพเพเยธาปะเตเตตังวันเดตาเตจัมเมหิสักการะจะพุเจตังเยเตสังฆานุภาเวนะสัมวโส te bhavantu no yen che vamacha namasanaya Namasamano Ratana Dayanyay Punya Visanda Asano Bhawe Nahatan Narayo Hello everyone. So this is time for the meditation. Hello Yvonne, Chutima, Margaret, and everyone. So now this is time for the meditation. Namato Ratanatayasa. May I pay homage to Triple Zim, the Buddha, Dhamma, and the Sangha. And good evening, everyone. So once again, on the Tuesday night, we're all assembled here to participate on the evening chanting, recollecting the virtues of the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Sangha, thus to refresh ourselves, disconnect from all the worldly affairs. And now this is time to reflect upon ourselves. In this reflection, simply bringing your attention to your sitting body, aware of sitting posture as you are sitting comfortably, checking yourself that whether you are sitting comfortable or not. You may change your hands, or you may change your legs, or even changing the cushions, making sure that the bodily posture is comfortable enough so that there is as minimum as any trouble possible while we are meditating. It is very essential that we keep our position, posture still, and minimum movements of the hands or the legs or any parts of the body. And simply being mindful of your sitting body as it is sitting. How are you feeling within your body? If you're feeling any tensions in any parts of the body, let them relax. You may do by squeezing the muscles and release it. And once released, then just let them relax. Making sure that there is no tension in your eyes, or there is no tension of the desire to be. It's a natural position of a stillness. There is no force involved. There is no desire attended. Simply aware of the sitting body as it is sitting, and in a relaxed position. When the body relaxes, your mind automatically relaxes too. And awareness of the relaxed body helps to relax the entire mind and the mental phenomena. At that moment, you will be able to recognize the thought processes that what you have been doing, what you have done, and what you're going to do. Now, if you haven't meditated or your mind is really restless, then you would not be able to relax the mind and relax the body. Mind will be running 100 miles per hour to the stories and events or plans. So, fully embracing yourself as you are sitting and forget all the pasts. Do not worry about anything in the future. All what we need to do is to be mindful of the present moment. The moment we are sitting here, observing the body, observing the feelings, and knowing. And this is the perfect moment that we have. As we know, past is gone, and now we can't change it. We can't undo. It's already gone. A future yet to come, we do not know how that future would be. So this moment is a precious moment that we have. The moment we learn to embrace ourselves, learn to know ourselves, feel ourselves, understand ourselves. How am I feeling about myself, in my body, in my feelings? So as we closely look at our body and our sensations, we realize that there's a constant movement taking place due to the breath coming in and going out. And this breath is the life. So we spend time watching this breath. It doesn't matter where you feel comfortable to watch this breath, either at the nose as it comes in and goes out, or at the belly as it rises and falls. So this would be primary object or a core, a home base that we keep our mind onto it. And this is the place where we will try to keep our mind as long as and returning back to it as many times that we need. So simply be mindful of it as it comes in, as it goes out, or rising, falling of abdomen. So each time when you be mindful of the incoming breath and outgoing breath, or the rise and the fall of the abdomen, you are here in the moment. You're mindful of the present moment as things taking place, and making sure that you are not grasping or you are not neglecting to any of it. So simply be mindful of the breath coming in, going out, the rise and the fall, and whatever thought comes, observing them objectively and acknowledging it as it comes in, and noting that thought and let go. Hello, everyone. So, if anyone has got any questions to ask, you can type or anything you want to know, you can just type in relation to meditation. Otherwise, we'll just continue from our last reading. So, today we are still in the first discourse. And the third part, this is about the speculation of the past. And this is the story of different people perceiving different views about the past lives and even the concept of the past lives and how people think that it's permanent and eternal. In relation to that, there are quite a number of views that comes on this discourse. So we'll read, and wherever there is anything special, then I will explain if necessary. And in the third part, they said it goes like this: there are bhikkhus, other dhammas, deep, difficult to see, difficult to understand, peaceful and sublime, beyond the sphere of reasoning, subtle, comprehensible only to the wise, which is the Tathagata, having realized for himself with a direct knowledge, propounds to others, and it is concerning these and that those who would rightly praise the Tathagata in accordance with the reality would speak. And so, what are those dhammas? And when this Dhamma, Buddha is talking about the past lives, that's why it's very difficult to comprehend. And even sometimes there are people who do not believe that that exists simply because not knowing it or not having right information or not understanding it completely. So here comes there are some yeah, Brahmins or reckless or people who are speculators about the past, who hold a settled view about the past, and who on 18 grounds asserts various conceptual theorems referring to the past. So there are 18 grounds that people um, think about the past and having a fixed view about it. And number one is about the eternal or eternalism, the view on the eternity. And there are four different views. So the Buddha says that there are who are eternalists and who on four grounds proclaim the self and the world to be eternal. And owing to that, with reference to that, to these honorables proclaim their views. In the first case, there are some people by means of order or endeavor or application and diligent and a right reflection attains to such a degree of a mental concentration that with his mind thus concentrated, purified, clarified, unblemished, devout of corruptions, He recollects his numerous past lives, that is, he recollects one birth, two births, three births, and goes on to many, many births, hundreds, thousands, and 100,000s, and many 100,000s of births. And many 100,000s of births, after recollecting that, they recollect that in those past lives, their name was such, like the name, they belong to such clan, and they belong to such ethnicity, and has such appearance, and meanwhile they eat such food and experience pleasure in that way, pain in that way, and such of a span of a life they had lived in those hundreds of thousands of lifetimes in the past. Further on, they also will able to comprehend that passing away from one existence re-arose in another realms. There too, they also there too will be able to comprehend their names, their clan, their appearance, and what they eat. So thus, having seen thus, the people will take a view that the self or the soul is eternal. So the self and the world are eternal, barren, steadfast as a mountain peak, standing firm like a pillar. And though these beings roam and wander through the round of existence, pass away and re-arise, yet the self and the world remains the same, just like the eternity itself. And why this is the reason? What is the reason of it? Because um, I, by means of order or endeavor or application, diligent and a right reflection, attain to such a degree of a mental concentration that with my mind thus concentrated, I recollect my numerous past lives in the modes and in their details. So, here with the meditation, as the mind becomes calmer and collected, free from all the distractions, ability to attain a such knowledge of experiencing the past lives. And when ability to comprehend in such a way, then people will hold the view that the self is eternal, continuum, and the world is also eternal, never ending. So this is the first case of a view, the eternal view. And a second case that the Buddha talks about, the eternity, that people hold the view that, and then people with the meditation and having a collected mind and the ability to recollect their numerous past lives. And here is not in a numbers, but it's in the form of eons of a world, that the world is contracted and world expansion, and then from one expansion to the one contraction, to the two to five, and the many 10 eons of a world contraction and expansion. And by recollecting in such a vast uh, past lives, and then they see that their names were like that, the clan, the appearance, and the food they eat, the pleasure, the pain that they experience, an ability to comprehend that passing away from one place, that they arise in another place, and hence with that seeing, they recollect the view that this self and the world are eternal. So this is the second reason. And a third reason that people think that the self and the world is eternal is simply because they could recollect their past lives, tens of world contractions and expansion, and that's 20 and 40 eons of world contractions and expansion, and that's the third um, way that people, after ability to recollect, they have a view, taking a view that the self and the world is eternal. And then the last bit of the eternity view, the people uh, here in a bhikkhus, some reckless and Brahmins and people in a rationalist, an investigator, he declares his view, hammered out by reason, deduced from his investigators, following his own flight of the thoughts. So here, people, a group of people who think and investigate and analyze from whatever information they can gather, and on the basis of that gathering the information, they have a whole view that the self and the world are eternal. So with that, they will hold that, saying that this is eternal. And this is the fourth way of holding that the self and and the world is eternal. So it is on these four grounds. So the Buddha further explains that those reckless and Brahmins and group of people who are eternalist proclaim the self and the world to be eternal. So the bhikkhus, the Tathagata understands it, and he understands that these standpoints, thus assumed and thus misapprehended, lead to such a future destination, to such a state in the world beyond. He understands as well that transcend this, yet even that understand he does not misapprehend. And because he is free from misapprehension, he has realized within himself the state of a perfect peace. Having understood as they really are the origin and the passing away of a feeling, their satisfaction, their unsatisfactoriness, and the escape from them, that the Tathagata is emancipated through non clinging. And here Buddha is explaining that those four views are not the right understanding, and they haven't comprehended completely. Whoever holds those four views in whichever state they are in, according to Buddha's understanding, that they will be reborning in a different or where he would be able to comprehend. So that's why it's not the end of it. Whereas the Buddha, having seen such and such past lives, he do not hold on to that as the end of it. And then that's how he do not take it as the perfect. But he accepts that those happens, and with that past lives experience and recollecting those past lives, ability to comprehend what is the real suffering, or the what is the real unsatisfactoriness, and also seeing that unsatisfactoriness, he also was able to comprehend the reason of not having the reason of this unsatisfactoriness. So that's why this is actually, if you look at the Buddha's enlightenment, this would be the first enlightenment about his own past lives, so that he was able to see uh, how he was experiencing suffering and what is the cause for it and how to end it. So that's how the Four Noble Truth been declared by him. Otherwise, it would not be able to comprehend this concept of the suffering if we do not see the cause and effect of it. Okay? So this is the first view on the eternal. It's called a Sassatavada, and there's four different views. So I stop here just for the tonight, and we'll continue following nights. So I end here for tonight's reflection, and it appears there is no questions. Let me check my messenger. Okay. Okay, so there's no questions on the meditation. So with this, let's finish tonight's practice by simply practice of a loving kindness meditation to finish off. Okay, so bring your attention to practice. So bring your attention to observe the breath and spend a few moments on the breath. And experiencing the entire body as you breathe in and breathe out. And spend a few moments on tonight's story about the concept of people holding the eternity. That people hold the view of eternal, of the self and the world on the basis of experiencing the past lives and how they were. And whereas the Buddha is saying that that's not the end. The end of it is to know the suffering and how those suffering were created in such and such lives and how they have changed and not clinging onto it. So with that ability to see that the self is not eternal and the world is not eternal. And gently bring your attention to the body. Be mindful of your sitting body, feeling, sensing the entire body. And bring your attention to be mindful of your hands. Whatever sensations that you can observe in your hands, be mindful of it. And to your heart, and generating loving kindness and compassion to yourself, allowing yourself to be happy, free from suffering, and mentally saying to yourself, may I be well, may I be happy, may I be at peace, may I be free from suffering. May I be liberated. Similarly, sharing loving kindness and compassion to all other sentient beings, starting from near dear one, anyone who is near to you, members of the family, the community, country, on earth, in the universe, or whatever beings there are, visible and invisible beings. May they be well, may they be happy, may they be at peace, may they be free from suffering, may they be liberated, liberated. Sabbe satta avera hontu, abhaya pacha hontu, anika hontu, sukhe atanang pariharantu, dukkha muchantu, yatha lata sampatito ma vikachantu, kamma sakka. Bring attention to hands, mindful of sensations in your hands, and to your body. And as you hear the gong, slowly open up yourself and reflect for a few moments. Let's pay respect to the Buddha. Arahang Samma Sambuddho Bhagavan Bodhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami. Okay, so thank you everyone for coming to practice tonight. May you all be well and happy. Just information that this Saturday we're going to have this Interfaith Mindful Day at the center. You're most welcome. We'll start at 10 o'clock. And on the Sunday, we have all day meditation, so you can come and join too. So, with this, wish you all the best and good night. Thank you.